There, as a creature so massive it could swallow an entire canoe and vanish into the depths of a river without leaving a single trace. They say that on certain nights, under the full moon, the waters of the Amazon begin to boil. The ground trembles, and the sound of something enormous moving beneath the surface echoes like a distant, muffled thunder. It's the Cobra Grande, the guardian of the rivers, an ancient spirit that both protects and punishes those who dare to defy nature. Some believe it is just a story told to scare children and keep people away from dangerous waters. But others swear they've seen it with their own eyes, glowing red eyes in the dark. A body that seems endless, and a strength powerful enough to flip boats as if they were toys. But what if this story is more than just a myth? What if, somewhere hidden among the rivers and forests of the Amazon, the Cobra Grande is still alive, watching, silent, waiting for the right moment to rise again? The Amazon is one of the most mysterious places on Earth, a vast territory where humankind is still just a visitor, and nature rules with an almost divine power. Among endless rivers and forests that seem to stretch beyond time, the world moves differently, and along with it live the stories, myths, and legends that have shaped the imagination of entire generations. Among these stories, one stands out not only for its grandeur, but for the fear it inspires. The legend of the Cobra Grande, also known as Boyuna or Encantada. She is not just a mythical creature, she is a symbol of nature's power, the vengeance of the rivers, and the deep spirituality that runs through the heart of the Amazonian people. Long before Europeans ever arrived, indigenous peoples already spoke of a giant serpent that lived in the depths of the rivers, able to control the waters and even transform into a woman whenever she wished. In some versions, the Cobra Grande is a guardian protector of the forest's secrets, the fish, and all life along the riverbanks. In others, she's a vengeful spirit, rising from the waters to punish those who defile the rivers, overhunt, or challenge the enchanted beings that dwell there. As centuries passed, the legend intertwined with African and European beliefs, gaining new shapes and meanings. In some regions, she is called Maria Cananana, a woman cursed and turned into a serpent for defying the gods. In others, she is seen as a goddess of the waters, an Amazonian counterpart to the mythical serpents found across cultures, from the dragons of Asia to the Leviathan of the Old Testament. But what truly keeps the legend of the Cobra Grande alive aren't just the ancient tales. It is the stories told by those who claim to have encountered her. Fishermen, river dwellers, and explorers speak of boats swallowed by sudden whirlpools, of strange glowing lights rising over the rivers, and of deep roars echoing through the forest on moonless nights. With every generation, the legend is reborn, and the more humans try to conquer the forest, the more the Cobra Grande seems to remind us the Amazon will never be tamed. They say it all began in a small village along the banks of the Rio Negro. It was night, the moon reflected on the calm waters like a mirror. Fishermen were getting ready for another journey when a strange silence took over the forest. No crickets, no wind, not even the rustle of a leaf. Then the river began to bubble. One of the men, trembling, pointed toward the center of the current. An enormous shadow was rising beneath the surface, as if something ancient and colossal were awakening. Suddenly, a wave surged, and from its heart emerged a massive head with glowing red eyes, burning like embers in the dark. It was the Cobra Grande, gliding in silence, her endless body vanishing into the depths of the river. The legend says that wherever she passes, the river changes its course. The banks crack, the waters rise, and the creatures flee. And when she dives back into the deep, she leaves behind a trail of destruction or rebirth. In some tales, the Cobra Grande falls in love with humans, enchanted by fishermen or young women who live by the river. She transforms into a beautiful woman with black hair and hypnotic eyes, but her charm is deadly. Those who fall under her spell vanish into the waters, taken to the depths of the river, never to return. Other stories say she guards underwater cities, enchanted kingdoms, and portals leading to other worlds, places where time doesn't exist, and the river spirits live in eternal harmony. Only the chosen ones, they say, can glimpse those realms, and come back alive to tell the tale. As the years passed, fear spread through the riverside communities. Some say that when the river rises for no reason, it's a sign the Cobra Grande is changing her dwelling. And when she stirs, thunder roars, winds howl, and the sky itself seems to collapse over the forest. She is nature's warning, the echo of what was forgotten, a living reminder that there are ancient, powerful, and unfathomable forces that should never be provoked. As much as it sounds like just a legend, reports of the Cobra Grande keep surfacing, and what's most terrifying is that many come from people who swear they never believed in anything supernatural. In 1945, a group of fishermen in the lower Amazon witnessed something they couldn't explain. The river began to twist into a violent whirlpool. No wind, no current. In the center, a colossal shadow moved, as if something alive lurked beneath. One of the boats was swallowed whole and never seen again. The only survivor, eyes trembling with fear, could only say, "Her eyes were staring at me." Years later, in 1976, a pilot flying over the Solemn Seas River claimed he saw a massive bluish serpent crossing just above the water's surface. He even took a photo of it, but the film mysteriously vanished after being sent for analysis. Since then, the man has refused to ever speak about it again. Older locals say that on stormy nights, strange lights can be seen under the water, as if something were breathing down there. Some call it enchanted fire. Others say they're the eyes of the Boyuna, watching anyone who dares get too close. Scientists have tried to explain it. They say it could be an optical illusion, a natural whirlpool, a trick of the moonlight. But how do you explain the sounds? The roars echoing from the riverbed, or the gigantic marks left on the riverbanks, places where no human could have possibly walked. There are those who believe the Cobra Grande never truly disappeared. She merely went into hiding, waiting for the day the forest would be wounded enough for her to awaken. And with the fires, the deforestation, and the rivers dying day by day, many say that time is near. Maybe this legend isn't a tale from the past, but a warning from the present, a whisper rising from the depths, reminding us that man may try to conquer nature, but he will never defeat what lives within it. The Amazon is a world full of mysteries, and maybe that is exactly what makes it so alive. Every tree, every river seems to hold a memory, a fragment of something far older than mankind itself. The Cobra Grande is more than just a story told around a campfire. She represents the untamable force of nature, the boundary that separates humans from what they cannot control. When we look at the rivers of the Amazon, it's impossible not to wonder how many secrets lie sleeping beneath those dark waters. How many unknown creatures dwell in the depths, invisible to human eyes. Perhaps the legend of the Cobra Grande was born from fear, but also from guilt, from the memory that the land and rivers were once sacred, and that by forgetting this, we awaken something that should never be disturbed. And what if, somewhere deep in the forest, this force is still alive? What if, with every thunder echoing over the river, she is simply reminding mankind that there are boundaries that must never be crossed? The waters may seem calm, but every calm hides a power ready to emerge. And you? Do you believe the Cobra Grande is just a myth, or do you think there is something more waiting to be discovered in the depths of the Amazon? If you enjoyed this dive into the shadows of Brazilian folklore, like the video, share it with fellow mystery lovers, and subscribe to the channel to keep exploring the secrets history tries to hide. Because here, at Urban Secrets, legends never sleep. They just wait to be awakened.